Hey guys, Jake here, and today I want to talk about something that made me think about Need for Speed and its community and what people want. So if you frequent the Need for Speed community, if you're a fan of that series and you frequented its community for the past year, even if you frequented it in the last week, but especially if you've been a fan for several years, you will have known that people love the original Most Wanted. To a big portion of the community, it's rated as the best game in the series, and its most iconic car easily is the BMW M3 GTR that's on the cover of the game. And for many years, I've loved Most Wanted. It was my favorite Need for Speed game for quite a while, and it might still be today, but I've kind of had a hard time calling it my favorite. You see, usually I give out the advice, if something is popular, or even if it's overdone, or whatever, don't let that stop you from enjoying it. But sometimes, even when we give advice, it's hard to even take our own advice, and for me, that's how I feel with Need for Speed Most Wanted. Is it a great game? Yes. Is it one of my favorite childhood games? Yes. Is it an iconic Need for Speed title? Absolutely. But I just have a hard time calling it my personal favorite, simply because of how overdone and over-milked that this game is in the Need for Speed community. There are countless fan arts, fan renderings, fan animations. There are talks of a Most Wanted remaster pretty much everywhere you look in Need for Speed. If you look on, say, any Need for Speed, mainstream like Need for Speed video, some of the top comments will just be talking about a Most Wanted or Underground remaster, not really even attempting to look at the current game or even any current recent game, but more so just kind of shutting it off and saying, remaster what I played as a kid. So nowadays I usually call my favorite Underground 1 or Hop 2 2010, but Most Wanted was my favorite for a long time. This right here is the bomb. This is what they need to remake. This basically is Underground 3, but not really that much. But I love this game. I hate Underground 2. A lot of you probably know that the E46 M3 is my favorite car of all time. This is just where my love of the car started from. But as I've said, I feel like Most Wanted is very, very overdone in the Need for Speed community, especially with all of the remaster talk. I would hear about all the time, and if you looked on r/Need for Speed, something about a Most Wanted fan render or concept or remastering concept, it was the top post. You could say at least 2 times a week something about Most Wanted getting remastered or updated or a sequel or whatever. And even though a lot of these fan renderings look amazing, especially the ones from Darudnik or Darudnik, I don't know how to pronounce his name. However, I was linked to this one fan animation that just came out recently by my friend Marco, and it got me to think quite a bit.
I'm back.
I feel like they just contribute to this milking of the game, and it's really kind of made me not enjoy it, even though that shouldn't be the case. In general, with what I can sometimes call the Most Wanted circle jerk, there's also a lot of talk about bringing the game's main villain, Razor, back to Need for Speed somehow. But the quality of this animation really got me to think, there is so much effort put into concepts and renderings and animations about Most Wanted, about this one game, this one villain, these 2 cars, over and over and over and over again. And it really got me to question, why do people want a remaster? And even then, do they want a remaster? But what do people want from Most Wanted? And it also makes me wonder, do people even want Most Wanted? Or do they just want a quality game? And all this makes me think, do people want a Most Wanted remaster to live their childhood and, have nostalgia feelings? Or do people want a Most Wanted remaster because the current games are nowhere near good enough? Everyone, well, I say everyone, well, plenty of people know that Ghost was just not good enough of a good studio. They got axed for a reason. Their games were just not good enough. They were half-finished, unpolished messes of games that I've never seen another developer for a AAA franchise go down to that level to. We haven't had a quality Need for Speed title since 2012, and we haven't had a universally loved Need for Speed title since 2010. I think remaster talk kind of comes in the form of the games aren't good enough, just port the old ones, because like I said earlier, I see remaster talk of the Underground games, Most Wanted, pretty much every game in the 2000s. I've even seen talk of a Need for Speed Undercover remaster. I don't know why, but I do. And even things like a Rivals remaster, when that game, like I said, looks better than Need for Speed Heat. So I think a lot of this actually just comes down to, I don't like the current games, so can you just port the old games over? I think a lot of talk for a remaster comes down to nostalgia as well, because we all know that there are issues with the game that aren't going to hold up well in 2020. There will be some things that need to be updated, and that begs the question, if there was an updated form of Most Wanted somehow, would it be a remaster or a remake? Does Most Wanted hold up well enough to just have a remaster with updated textures and lighting maybe? Or have a full-on remake or maybe reimagining with modern technology? For me, personally, my opinion is that if Most Wanted was to ever get an update, which I highly doubt it, I think it would need to be just a remaster, not a remake. Here's why. A remaster would simply they'd probably just renew the licenses for things in the game if they could, and then they would probably update the textures, maybe change the lighting a little bit. But I feel like a Most Wanted remaster would be hard to kind of, put it on current graphical levels. But, that's exactly what Stellar Entertainment did with the Burnout Paradise remaster. It doesn't look on the same level as current games do, but it still looks pretty good. But that's also because Burnout Paradise looked really good back in its day. So I don't know if a Most Wanted remaster would really hold up well graphically. And then you could say, well, then just simply do a remake instead of a remaster, so therefore you would have better updated graphics, probably on a newer engine. But the problem with that is that I think Most Wanted has too many old things or old issues that would need to really be overhauled, or just I feel like Most Wanted has too much baggage from the 2000s that it really couldn't be remade with still being Need for Speed Most Wanted. The cutscenes, the characters in general, the music, everything is so way back in the day, with everyone talking about, hey, you need to bring this game into modern times. Do we just want better graphics, or do we want more updates? Because I think more updates would warrant something like a remake, and then there's too much old stuff in the game that I think wouldn't really bode well with a remake. But at the end of the day, I don't think either one of these things is going to happen, because the Need for Speed community has asked for a remaster, sequel, port, put Razor into the new game for years now, and none of this has happened. Heck, it's even gone as far as to Razor's voice actor saying he was contacted by EA, but actually lying, and Max from Ghost revealing that this is actually false. And that's one of the moments I think when the Most Wanted love gets a little crazy. And I'm not saying to stop the fan remakes and renders and stuff. I know people have fun with it. But I feel like at the same time, it doesn't there's not much thinking to it. It's more of just a thing for fun. I feel like it wouldn't really make much sense to do some of the stuff people are saying, like bring Razor back in the current game. Because really, would Razor be good enough or memorable enough to bring back into a current game? Yes, he was a memorable Need for Speed villain, but why would he be in a new Need for Speed title? And especially, why would he be using the same car as he did 15 years ago? Actually, wait, I think I just realized people might be asking for Razor because they brought back Eddie. Ghost Games, I think you're awoken something. But like I said, at the end of the day, I don't think either one is going to happen, nor do I really think they need to happen. I understand wanting a port to play the game again on a newer console if you don't have access to an older one, but that is simply a fault of console gaming. A lot of things aren't backwards compatible, sadly. I wish they were. You can always play it on PC if you want to, but it is true the PC version has a lot of issues compared to the console version. But for simply wanting a port, that I understand. So I simply want to talk about the Most Wanted remaster, the Most Wanted sequel, the Razor, whatever it's called. All the Most Wanted love that the game gets. I wanted to speak up on it and just start a bit of discussion. So why is Most Wanted so loved to you? And if you want a remaster or remake of the game, why do you want one specifically? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later.